Testing, testing, testing. Am I too high? Am I too low? Salute, salute, salute to all the members. Salute to all the genuine supporters. Salute to the chat. Salute to everybody watching from behind the scenes. Everybody watching from the other page. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. Salute to everybody who catch this on the replay. Miss Pamela. All Henny in the building. Street Queen, what's going on? Lansky in the building. Zad, what's going on, Zad? All Henny. So Flat Earth is in the building. So I was gonna do a story today about how could I say this? How could I say it? How could I alligator bait, right? FBA babies was used as alligator bait. I was gonna make a live about that. Then something else came across my timeline where they say in November aliens are supposed to be, I guess, coming to the earth. And they said they resemble FBA. Now, Eve James, salute. Now, you know what? I'm gonna play the clip, then we're gonna get back to it. I'm gonna play the clip. Hold on. Is this the one here? I think this is it.
To the Yamasi people, we're dark-skinned people. We look like the Negro.
That's the wrong one. Hold on. I think it's this
one. A viral
one.
social media claim suggests a former NASA scientist said that they were 7 foot tall dark.
All right, this is it. My bad,
what
y'all.
The hell is going on this planet? So according to NASA, the aliens that's supposed to be coming here in November have a strong resemblance to us. The aggressive aliens that's on their way to Earth that's supposed to get here in November resemble African-American people. And they're saying they're around 7 feet tall. And if that's the case, we already know why they're aggressive. We already know what they're coming back here for.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we got enough problems here. We got enough problems. Ladies and gentlemen, this is ridiculous. Ming, what's going on, Ming? Simba in the building. Now, listen, I don't believe in aliens. That's first of all. I don't believe in aliens. But second of all, where's this information coming from? You know, I got a lot of questions. Where's this information coming from? They said November, these aliens supposed to be arriving. They're aggressive. How do they know aliens are supposed to be arriving in November? Like, are they talking to the alien? Like, I don't believe in aliens. You know what I'm saying? But are they talking to the aliens? And then they said the aliens are going to be aggressive, like they're going to invade us. And on top of all that, the aliens look like FBAs. Now listen. Why FBAs? Like, why and how could it be FBA? What do FBA look like? What they got on? Jordans and what they got on? Excuse me, listen, I ain't trying to be funny. Flat Earth. But I can see, all right, they say, the aliens resembled black people. You know what I'm saying? Black people in general. You know what I'm saying? But they said FBA. Like, what they got what they pulling up they flying saucer got what they got Dayton's, what they got? Spinners on it? Like, why would they say the aliens look like FBA? What they got? Gold chains? Like, what they rapping? Like what would determine? All right, for instance, right? You have people here in America. You have black people who, may have came from immigrant families, and you have FBA, black people who came from here. Now, depending on, how someone who comes from an immigrant family dresses, how they talk, their mannerisms, sometimes you can't tell if these people are FBA or if they're not FBA. So how in the millions of thousands of years can people determine that aliens look like FBAs? What if they not FBA? What if they not FBA? What if they just dress like what they got? What they talk with Ebonics? Like what was they talking to the what they talk with a slang? Like I don't get it. I don't get it, man. It's just ridiculous. Where is this news? Oh, it's all over the social media, Simba. Just type in Black Extraterrestrials November. Type in Black Extraterrestrials November. It's gonna pop right up. Because I wasn't even looking for it. I was looking for something else. And I said, I have to say something about this. This is ridiculous. David, what's going on? What? Think aliens know how to put on wigs for what? Oh, because they black. Oh, I get it, Street Queen. Oh, because they black. If they wear. Oh, all right. If maybe the female aliens had on hair weaves and stuff like that, as you said, like because they black. I see what you said. Bobby Ramos, what's going on, Bobby Ramos? Lazy Days is in the building. Simba, I can't tell. Simba, I don't know. I don't be knowing. Like, how could you tell? I don't know how you could tell FBA. Like, like I said, here in America, everybody, like, you have your people have culture, and then it's FBA. Even though they say FBA don't have no culture and all that, but people run around like, what up, my N-word? What up, my N-word? Blah, 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 So some people may dress and sound like FBA, and dress, look, sound like FBAs if they was born in this country and they grew up in the culture and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, how could you tell if somebody's FBA or not? Even online, like I hear a lot of people saying, them Africans look different. The Caribbean people look different. I could tell somebody's from the Caribbean. I could tell somebody's from Africa and all that. But I'm from New York, the Bronx, right? And I'm FBA. But you can't always tell. It's not true. You can't. I mean, you can tell sometimes, some of the times, but you can't always tell. A lot of people in my neighborhood swear I'm Jamaican. Even dreads. I know this one dread who keep telling me that I'm Jamaican. He like when he first see me, he came on, he talking to Yard Man stuff. I'm like, I'm not Jamaican. I'm a Yankee boy. That's what they say. Yeah. Like, no, one of your parents gotta be Jamaican. I said, what? Like, I don't even know you. You don't even know me. But he said I look like a Rasta. Like I look like, you feel me? So you never know what people, look like and all that. So I don't understand why would they say these aliens look like FBA? Don't we got enough problems? Now we invading the planet. Like, don't we got enough problems? Now we invading the planet. It's like, now we're invading the planet. I don't believe in aliens, but I tell you this. If some aliens come down from the sky and they look like FBA, they FBA and all that, like, I don't know if that's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm Jamaican, Zad. Okay, thank you, Zad. I'm an honorary I'm an honorary yard man. I appreciate that, Zad. I appreciate it. But now, you got people who may believe this. Oh, now those Negroes coming out the sky, those Negroes, they're going to try to take over the planet now. Like, you got some of these radical people out there. They probably preparing. They probably preparing for some type of Negro alien invasion. Like, it's weird. Like, people are weird. People are weird. I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to be judgmental. All praises to the Most High, but people are weird. Like, leave us alone. We gotta do. We like. G Mama. We subhuman, we monkeys, we slaves, we now we aliens. This is crazy. Yes, if I'm done, like I be trying my best to be civil and cordial, but it's just sometimes it goes too far, man. Nunzio, what's going on, my brother? Sometimes it just goes too far, man. I don't believe in aliens, and that's why. I don't believe in no aliens. No. Aliens coming in. They 7 feet. I seen that's floating around and all that, but it has been debunked. But let me play the first clip one more time, and then I'm gonna play another clip.
A viral social media claim suggests a former
What the hell is going on this planet? So according to NASA, the aliens that's supposed to be coming here in November have a strong resemblance to us. The aggressive aliens that's on their way to Earth that's supposed to get here in November resemble African American people. And they're saying they're around 7 feet tall. And if that's the case, we already know why they're aggressive. We already know what they're coming back here for.
I swear, man. Of course, listen, if this was true, it's true. We know why they're aggressive and why they're coming back here for. You know what I'm saying? If this is true, we know. Come on. It's not a secret, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a secret. But anyway, let me play this. Hold on.
What the hell is going on this planet? So according to NASA, the aliens that's supposed to be coming here in November have
a viral social media claim suggests a former NASA scientist said that they were 7 foot tall, dark-skinned aliens resembling African Americans. However, there is no known NASA publication or press release supporting this. This post cites no official NASA sources, mission, or peer-reviewed evidence. No credible news organization or NASA press statement has corroborated such claims. They running a play. You almost had me with this. I kept seeing videos saying that some scientists said that the aliens that are on that asteroid resemble black people. Come on now, right? Come on. I had to look it up. This shit is hilarious. But look, they gonna keep running plays on us, right? You got to think about it. They're gonna keep running plays on us. It's gonna be a new play every day, every single day. I promise you. This is just another one.
So apparently, Top Shots, what's going on? Apparently, a former NASA, I guess somebody who worked for NASA is the one who said this. Now, they have people who work in NASA that think like this. And then you heard he said they almost had me. Like, listen, y'all, come on, we got to do better than this. Only facts, salute. We got to do better than this. We got to do better than this. We got to stop this. We got to stop it. We got to do better than this. God bless. But for real, though, we got to do better than. Come on, we got to stop getting caught up in this stuff, man. Anunnakis and aliens and all of that. It's going too far. It's going too far now. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. We got to cut this out. We got to cut this out. I know people really didn't believe this. This had to be, like a rumor and all that. But people who work for NASA, like I think it's dangerous I think it's dangerous. It says a lot of the people who are in power or in control. Like, it says a lot that these people can think like this. Like, you're supposed to think logically with common sense. Like, what you think and what you do can affect a whole country, a whole planet, you know, a bunch of people. And you got people who's at the top making these policies and in control of the narrative and all of that. And this is what they think. That's scary. That's like intergalactic racism. Like, if you strip it all down, it's like intergalactic racism. It's like this former NASA worker believes that aggressive aliens are going to come to the planet in November, and they look like foundational Black Americans. That's like saying, oh, I was robbed, but it was a black guy. You know what I'm saying? I was robbed. But anyway. Being aliens. So anyway, it's been debunked. It's not out there, I mean, on social media, I guess TikTok and things of that nature. But like I said, it doesn't have to be in the media. It doesn't have to be on the news for people to believe it. There's many things on this social media that didn't make the news or don't make the news that people believe. And just because it makes the news doesn't mean that it's true either. So, we don't know what's going on here, man, because it's all politics. It's all about politics and all. We don't know. The people in power, they don't care. They don't really care about us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right, Pamela. But I'm going to play that first clip again because he says something at the end of the first clip I was playing. I keep getting mixed up. Which clip is which clip? I think it's this one. All right.
A viral social media claim suggests.
Nope, that wasn't it.
What the hell is going on this planet? So according to NASA, the aliens that's supposed to be coming here in November have a strong resemblance to us. The aggressive aliens that's on their way to Earth that's supposed to get here in November resemble African American people. And they're saying they're around 7 feet tall. And if that's the case, we already know why they're aggressive. We already know what they're coming back here for.
Yeah, that part right there, what they coming back here for, it brings me to my next topic. Now, this was my original topic. Now, I seen this, a while ago, where they said, they was using FBA babies or American Negro babies as alligator bait, right? But what made me bring this back up, I seen a chief from the Yamasee tribe speaking about the same thing. He said that they used to take, their babies and use them as alligator bait. But the interesting part about that is the Yamasee, the Yamasee are let me see, the Seminoles, some of the Black Seminoles. So you got the Seminoles. The Seminoles is it means like runaway. It's kind of like, it's like a made up tribe. So you got the red Seminoles, you got the Black Seminoles. You got different types of Seminoles. Now they say the Seminoles come from, Africa. They descended from Africa. The Black Seminoles are from Africa, or they're African mixed with indigenous people, right? But the Yamasee are not from Africa, but they were classified as Negro. So they classified as black, but they not from Africa, right? So my point is, they said they was taking FBA babies or Negro babies and using them as alligator bait. So they couldn't tell the difference between a Yamasee Native American or a Yamasee Indian or a Negro from quote unquote Africa. They couldn't tell the difference. They was all Negroes. So that's why I say, like, in America, us FBAs and stuff like that, some people don't claim they come from Africa. Some people claim they only descend from Africa. Some people claim that, they descend from both Africa and, the natives. See, me personally, I don't deny, any African lineage and all that. I just can't trace it. But I can trace my indigenous lineage to the Seminoles. The Seminoles, the Yamasee and the Seminole. Anyway, I'm gonna play the clip. and then we'll get back to that.
See, the Yamasee people were dark-skinned people. We looked like the Negroes from Africa they was bringing over. Not only did they put us in slavery, they took our women and children and put them into slavery.
Source: hearings before the Joint Commission of Congress of the United States, 63rd Congress to investigate Indian affairs, September 15th, 1913, December 6th through 1914. The Yamasee Indians were Negroes, and they weren't from Africa. How did they get here?
The disturbing practice of using black children as alligator bait in the United States, particularly in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, is a grim aspect of American history.
Taking our newborn babies, putting ropes around their necks, sitting them next to creeks, rivers, and banks to use as alligator bait.
Reports from various newspapers, including the Washington Times in 1908, describe hunters using black infants as bait by tying them up or placing them near water holes frequented by alligators.
They were savages. They were cruel. But they called us savages.
The grotesque nature of this practice was further perpetuated through postcards and other memorabilia that depicted scenes of black children in peril from alligators. These items were marketed and sold, indicating a disturbing fascination with the spectacle of violence against black people.
So now you see there they made postcards of this, right? And on the postcard it says Little African, but that chief who was speaking right there wasn't African. He's indigenous to America from the Yamasee tribes, the Seminoles. So he said they also was using, their babies as alligator bait. So how my whole question is with this is, how could they tell who was native, a Negro, an indigenous Negro to America, or a Negro who came from Africa or whatever? How could they tell them apart? Because it seems like they can't. It seems like they can't tell them apart, because these indigenous Yamasee people were classified as Negro. So now, with the blood quantum laws, a lot of these, Negro Indians, quote unquote, or Native Americans or indigenous people are not being recognized because they're saying, like, they don't got enough blood, or they mix with African blood. They don't got enough native blood and stuff like that. But what about the people who look like they African, but they native to here? And a lot of those people who they call Native Americans, they don't resemble the people who was described from the old records and all of that when they first was coming here in the 1500s. Oh yeah, that's a whole nother thing. This is why, the whole reparations thing, Natasha, Bunny, salute, Natasha, the whole reparations and the 14th Amendment, we was written into the 14th Amendment so we would be have equal rights and be citizens. But then they still had the Jim Crow, they still had the segregation. You feel what I'm saying? So they violated our 14th Amendment rights, So when we was marching and stuff for civil rights, you know what I'm saying, for everybody, we was doing it because they were violating our rights as citizens. And this is after slavery. This is like the 1900s. Did y'all know, y'all? And this is Florida, right? So this is happening. Florida is called Seminole Country because Florida used to be a part. It used to be Spanish Florida. Spanish Florida included Georgia, what we now call Florida, South Carolina, and North Carolina. And this is how I trace my lineage from South Carolina. So you ever heard of the Florida Gators? The Florida Gators have a chant saying "Gator bait" or something like that. Gator bait, and it stems from this whole thing about using Negro children as bait. So yeah, it's crazy. So now we was used, our babies were used as alligator bait. We aliens. It's just ridiculous. It never stops. It's ridiculous. And this is the things I gotta, this when I be reading these things and all that, I try to stay out of my feelings and emotions and stuff like that. I had did a live talk with this one person was saying that black people are the most racist people in America and stuff like that. And I mean, could you blame us? And it's not true. I think black people are FBA, Black Americans. I think we the most peaceful, one of the most peaceful people on the planet. Because to go through all of that stuff right there, could you blame someone for being racist? Like, you feel me? Online, you can see them having lynching. They have their children out there where people, black men are hanging from a tree and they out there and they got their children out there and they said seeing things like that could drive you crazy. I feel you, Eve James. I feel you, LaPuffy, salute. But all praises to the Most High. I try to, keep my composure because all praises to the Most High. My people back then, they put Jesus first. They put God first. If they would have picked up arms, they would have been labeled as terrorists or anarchists, and they would have been put back into slavery or prisoners of war or what have you. So they found a different way. They put their faith in the Most High, and look where we at now. Now we aliens. Now we aliens. But Nito, what's going on, my brother? So all praises to the Most High. When I found my faith, that's how I found my lineage, because my family had a church on the land, on our land. We have land, we have a church, and in the church, in the back of the church is a cemetery where my great grandmother is buried, my grandmother, my great grandfather, they all buried there. And I found this online. My family didn't even know nothing about this. Mecca, what's going on? Old head in the building. So during my studies, I found a document where it has all my family name on there, and it is a church, and they had their own church, and they had their dates of birth on there, So, and this is how I found my this is my great grandparents. Hold on. It's my great grandparents. They was Seminole, but they was classified as Negro. Wait, hold on. So they had a church, and my great grandfather, he's the one who left us the land. He's the one who owned the land. I know, Zad, when I seen that, I was shocked. Don't worry about it. What's going on? I was shocked when I seen that. I said, wow. But they own land, they own acres of land. There's a lot of acres of land, but it's been divided between their children and their children. So me personally, I have land personally for me, and all my brothers have we all have acres, or they call it lots. Like in the Bible where they say, the children of Israel was cast in lots. That's what they lots. So I call that my native land. You know what I'm saying? Because my great grandfather was Seminole or Yamasee or whatever you want to call it. He was indigenous. So that's my native land. That's my land. That's where my family come from. Well, on one side of my family, and then I got another, my another side of my family is all from South Carolina. And the funny thing about it, the towns that they live in is the same as their last name. So the towns that they live in is the same as their last name. Like the town was named after them because it's their land. You feel what I'm saying? It's the family's land. And a lot of FBAs, y'all need to do look into your lineage and stuff like that. Y'all need to study your lineage. And salute to my FBA brothers and sisters, but we got to get our stuff together, and unite, and we got to work it out and do what we got to do. But my Caribbean brothers and sisters, y'all need to try to look into y'all lineage, because there's a lot of you got the Arawak, you got the Caribs, you got the Taino, you got what I'm saying? You got indigenous black people. And on top of that, they was transferring indigenous black people from the States to the Caribbean and Latin America, and from the Caribbean and Latin America to the States. But everybody got to get their own affairs in order, get their own people's affairs in order, get your own lineage, and then we can all come together, pause, and you know what I'm saying? See what's going on. But yeah, man, I had to just point that out. The Yamasee, look up the Yamasee tribe, the Seminoles, the Gullah. Look up the Yamasee Wars, the Seminole Wars, the Negro Wars, the Indian Wars. They all are combined together. It was a lot of wars going on that they don't let us know. They think, we was enslaved. It was just kumbaya, yes, Mazza, and then they freed us. And then, no, that's not the true story. That's not the true story. The Black Seminoles or Yamasee was some of the most fierce warriors in American history. Rose Gold, what's going on, my brother? I can't really highlight that because I'm sharing from 2 pages, but over here on my serious page is KT. Holla or Trooper, what's going on, Trooper? So yeah, let me play this clip again. Oh yeah, Rose Gold, you from North Carolina also. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida used to all be a part of Spanish Florida. And the Seminoles, the Black Seminoles, Negroes, they were free. And then they got re-enslaved. They got or recolonized. You feel what I'm saying? When the English came in, the French came in, but the Spanish was there first. They even have Spanish Seminoles if you could believe that. Yeah, I did mine. It led me to the oh, okay. Yep. The Lumber tribe. Okay. They got the Shinnecock, the Lumber tribe. Yeah. The what you call it? Oh man. I forgot what it was. It's a tribe that the U.S. Constitution is fashioned after this tribe's constitution. I forgot what they called though. I forgot what they called. It slipped my mind right now. Let me play this clip again, showing how they say that they used Negro babies as alligator bait, or FBA babies as alligator bait, but also the Yamasee tribe, or who was classified as Negroes, they also said that they was using their babies as alligator bait. So at the end of the day, as I said, it was Negroes in America before Columbus. There's been studies, and they found skulls of Negroes in America even before, the today's so-called Native Americans, who they say crossed the land bridge from Siberia, 15, 16, 17,000 years ago. They saying they finding traces of people who were here 30 to 50,000 years ago. But anyway, let me just play this clip again. Hold on.
See, the Yamasee people were dark-skinned people. We looked like the Negroes from Africa they was bringing over. Not only did they put us in slavery, they took our women and children and put them into slavery.
Source: hearings before the Joint Commission of Congress of the United States, 63rd Congress to investigate Indian affairs, September 15th, 1913, December 6th through 1914. The Yamasee Indians were Negroes, and they weren't from Africa. How did they get here?
The disturbing practice of using black children as alligator bait in the United States, particularly in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, is a grim aspect of American history.
Taking our newborn babies, putting ropes around their necks, sitting them next to creeks, rivers, and banks to use as alligator bait.
Reports from various newspapers, including the Washington Times in 1908, describe hunters using black infants as bait by tying them up or placing them near water holes frequented by alligators.
They were savages. They were cruel. But they called us savages.
The grotesque nature of this practice was further perpetuated through postcards and other memorabilia that depicted scenes of black children in peril from alligators. These items were marketed and sold, indicating a disturbing fascination with the spectacle of violence against black people.
Wow, I did not know that, Zad. I gotta look into that. I did not know that. Yeah, yep. Rose Gold. Yeah, man. Like I've been doing a lot of studying of our people, which I want to call FBA. I call American Negroes, but people don't like that term Negro and all of that. But that's what's all the documents. That's what's on all the documents. That's what we claim. That's what our elders claimed. We had the Negro League. You know what I'm saying? We had the Negro. We had our own baseball league, the Negro League. We had our own comic books, the Negro Comics. We had our own newspaper, the Negro Star. You know what I'm saying? Like the United Negro College Fund. We got the Negro Fort. We got a mountain called Negro Mountain. We got islands called Negro Islands. You feel what I'm saying? So we have a lineage. We have our people were proud to be Negro. They built a bunch of things under that name Negro. You feel what I'm saying? And now they trying to take it off the census. They trying to erase it. Don't you know Black History Month used to be Negro History Week? So I study a lot of these things, and I just try to put this information out there. All praises to the Most High is my mission and message. But I do the foolishness and all that. Salute to you. Work hard, play hard, pause. But I got to keep it up. I got to keep a balance because I got to remember what I'm on here for. You feel what I'm saying? This is what I'm on here for. My mission and the message. This is what I'm on here for. Everything else is secondary. But as far as the foolishness and what we do on the other page, I use that to mix the poison with the potion because people don't want to hear things like this. This don't grab people's attention. A lot of people don't pull up to hear educational things and stuff like that. So I try to draw people in with with the fun activity or what you call fun activity or the foolishness. Draw people in, and then what I'm saying. And whoever it resonates with, it resonate with, and whoever it don't. Everything ain't for everybody. I don't try to force people into nothing. And I don't like people trying to force themselves into anything. Pause. So if I'm doing serious content and you are not a person who can conduct yourself in a certain manner, then it's not for you. You feel what I'm saying? Or if I'm doing foolishness on, we cutting up and you can't conduct yourself in a certain manner, that's not for you. Now, some people are versatile. They can do both, such as myself. But everybody can't, or everybody won't or doesn't want to. Appreciate that. I'm just getting back to what I used to do. Right. Only facts. It's just, I realized where I was and I had to just change my approach. So, I had to do what I had to do. And then now I can get back to what I'm doing. Like I said, man, new content creators from that sector. For those who know, they know. Those who don't know, they don't know. They having platforms. And it gives me more time to get back to what to things like that. You feel what I'm saying? And it helps me separate the people who's there for serious content and people who's just there for the foolishness, or people who could do both. So it helps me. It's like a vetting process. It helps me. So it's a method to my madness. I've been vetting for a long time. I see what's what, who's who does this, who does that, and all of that. I got the gist of it. You feel me? Because some people, they act like they are a certain way, and then you do something they don't like, or something happens, and then they show their true colors and stuff like that. So you got to take your time and watch and observe. So I pretty much understand who's who and what's what. John Illuminati, what's going on, my brother? And like I said, I'm not judging nobody and all of that. I'm not judging nobody. I'll see y'all on the other platform. If you want to cut up and you want to have fun and you ain't trying to hear all this serious stuff and all that, I'll catch you on the other platform. You feel what I'm saying? If you don't want to go to the other platform because it's too much foolishness and you ain't trying to be involved in that type of stuff and all that, I'll catch you over here. If you versatile, you doing both, I see you over there, I see you over here. Crook, what's going on, my brother? Salute the Crook. Crook gifted. I'm not sure. I know Crook gifted probably like close to 100 members yesterday. Salute the Crook. Appreciate that, my brother. Salute to all the new members. So yeah, man. And like I said, I appreciate that because I don't sometimes it feel like work over here. I don't I got to do research. I got to over on the other page is more fun. It's easy. I'm freestyling. I could just jump on and do whatever and have a good time. So sometimes I don't feel like getting on this page and doing content for people who ain't really trying to even don't really care or But that's why I always salute the genuines. And I salute the people who, contribute and all that. I salute the members. Because like I said, time is money. Be careful who you waste it with or you spend it on. And y'all not only spending time, y'all also, spending money. So I appreciate it. But like I said yesterday, is a mentality that I have and we all have that, be entertaining the foolishness. We'd rather be out on the block, hanging out and all of that than taking care of our responsibility or going to work or getting money. We'd rather hang out. And so I'd rather be over there acting a fool and cutting up than be over here doing something productive. And at the same time, people are, contributing financially and spending their money. I should much rather be over here. You see what I'm saying? But the mentality that I have and a lot of us have, that's why we in the positions that we in. And this is why these things keep happening. So you got to discipline. You got to be disciplined. You got to try to, you know what I'm saying? I listen. You are 100%. I believe that 100%. Crook. I believe that 100%. But we rather have fun. You know how listen. When I was growing up, I was I got money and all that. I got money. I was out there doing what I was doing, but I could have did it a whole nother way. You know what I'm saying? I could have been. I didn't have to be out there in them streets and all of that. I could have tried to get a degree. I could have went and tried to do something, legal, professional and all that. Put my time into that. But I put my time into them streets. I put my, I thought that was the easy way. That's not the easy way. That's not the easy way. You could lose your life. I mean, you can lose your life anyway. But it's a higher percentage of you losing your life, or whether to the grave or to the penitentiary. So you think you getting that fast money, that easy money, but you in the grave or you in jail, and that person was like, oh, they working at 9 to 5, but they retiring now. They got a pension, they got assets. See, luckily for me, I invested in my people. I'm a certain type of way with the people I rock with, that I call family. Even if you friends or whatever, if I call you family, I invested into a lot of people when I was doing what I was doing, and some of them became successful. So now, they look out for me. You feel what I'm saying? So, all praises to the Most High. I got that. Because if not, I didn't have no 401k. I don't got no retirement plan. I don't got no, you feel what I'm saying? And now me and my bros, we started a business. You know what I'm saying? So all praises to the Most High, man. Everything worked out. But, I'm glad that I got out them streets and I retired at the time I did. And I found my faith and all that, because I wouldn't even know they existed. But people seen when I tried to change my life and be positive, they wanted to help me. The people who, really love me, and the people who really seen the potential in me, they told me, I was waiting for you. It took me a little while. I'm a knucklehead. It took me a little while, but they told me, man, I always knew you had potential. I've been waiting for you to have this mindset where I can tell you this and talk to you, because before that, you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't talk to me. I ain't have an open mind. You feel me? So I just want to say that. If anybody want to come up and speak on anything as far as, the aliens or, the alligator bait or, anything, questions, comments, you can I'll drop the link. You can hit the call line. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So let me play these clips again. Then I'm going to drop the link for the call line. If anybody want to come up here, you're more than welcome. But just remember, this is the serious page. You can call me Holla. You can call me Bees. You can call me KT. But if you want to call me anything else, please don't hit that link. If you make a mistake, I will have to eject you. So I don't want to sound. Listen, I don't want to be a killjoy and all that, but I don't want to, Anyway.
See, the Yamasi people were dark-skinned people. We looked like the Negroes from Africa they was bringing over. Not only did they put us in slavery, they took our women and children and put them into slavery.
Source: hearings before the Joint Commission of Congress of the United States, 63rd Congress to investigate Indian affairs, September 15th, 1913, December 6th through 1914. The Yamasee Indians were Negroes, and they weren't from Africa. How did they get here?
The disturbing practice of using black children as alligator bait in the United States, particularly in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, is a grim aspect of American history.
Taking our newborn babies, putting ropes around their necks, sitting them next to creeks, rivers, and banks to use as alligator bait.
Reports from various newspapers, including the Washington Times in 1908, describe hunters using black infants as bait by tying them up or placing them near water holes frequented by alligators.
They were savages. They were cruel. But they called us savages.
The grotesque nature of this practice was further perpetuated through postcards and other memorabilia that depicted scenes of black children in peril from alligators. These items were marketed and sold, indicating a disturbing fascination with the spectacle of violence against black people.
All right. Let me play this other clip here.
What the hell is going on this planet? So according to NASA, the aliens that's supposed to be coming here in November have a strong resemblance to us. The aggressive aliens that's on their way to Earth that's supposed to get here in November resemble African American people. And they're saying they're around 7 feet tall. And if that's the case, we already know why they're aggressive. We already know what they're coming back here for.
A viral social media claim suggests a former NASA scientist said that there were 7 foot tall dark-skinned aliens resembling African Americans. However, there is no known NASA publication or press release supporting this. This post cites no official NASA sources, mission, or peer-reviewed evidence. No credible news organization or NASA press statement has corroborated such claims. They running a play. You almost had me with this. I kept seeing videos saying that some scientists said that the aliens that are on that asteroid resemble black people. Come on now, right? Come on. I had to look it up. This shit is hilarious. But look, they gonna keep running plays on us, right? You got to think about it. They gonna keep running plays on us. It's gonna be a new play every day, every single day. I promise you. This is just another one.
Yeah, I wonder what's next, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, I'm gonna give some time for the. Let me see any questions here. The mothership is coming. Oh Lord, have mercy, Zad. Not the mothership. I'm gonna give some time if anybody want to hit the call log. Before I get up out of here, I appreciate y'all. As I said, salute to the members first and foremost. Salute to the genuine supporters next. Salute to the chat. Salute to everybody watching from behind the scenes from the other platform. But salute to everybody who catch this on the replay. It's your host and your DJ. Holla at your boy. Appreciate you, Lansky, my brother.